April Pettyjohn, and this is Follow the Leader Homeschool Education. Hey everybody, welcome back to Follow the Leader Homeschool Education. We are in part 2 of our Q&A. I'm so glad that you're here. We're back with Amber and Maxie, our type A, B, and C moms, to answer all of your burning questions about homeschooling and parenting. Don't take us too seriously. We're just doing our best.
We're figuring it out too.
That's right. We're all on this journey together. So we answered 3 awesome questions last time. If you missed that episode, make sure you go back and listen. All right, now we have a question from Joy. This one is hard for me. I'm going to be honest. It hurts my heart a little. So we'll do our best to answer, and I'm not going to cry. We joined a co-op last year. We definitely feel like the newbies. This co-op is well established. I want my kids to have more social interaction, but they are consistently left out of gatherings and play dates. I'm actually considering pulling out of the co-op. Am I overreacting? How can I provide more social interaction for my kids?
I'll speak to that. My family joined in a well-established community, and I felt that. And I would walk down the hallway trying not to cry. And I'd watch. That's one of the harder things, I would say, is being present in those situations. Like, had my kid been in a middle school hallway, I wouldn't have seen the things that middle schoolers all feel. But when you see it, it hurts your heart. But I will say Satan is a masterful deceiver, and he loves to plant that in the forefront of your mom's mind, your own mind as a mom. He loves for that to be your focus. And it very well could be that what you are seeing, your perspective, try to shift it. Try to look from somebody else's perspective, because they may not be purposefully leaving your children out. They may have zero clue. Yes, it would be ideal for somebody who's established to reach out to the newbie and be like, come on in. But they may not be confident enough to do that, right. Or not even realize it needs done. So choose to believe the best in others, and it will serve you well. So that being said, then you need to step up, and you need to start a study group, start a play group, make a book club. There are multiple ways to say, hey, my kid needs people around them. I'm going to make this happen. And so you be the one to take the lead. Yeah. And you'll be surprised. There will be so many people that jump in, and they're just waiting for the invite.
Right.
So that's what I would encourage you to try first before saying, we're out of here. Yeah. So, and pray, because for my 3 children, one of them actually ended up, there's a long story, but God worked out a different community for them that is perfect for them, for her. And what could be hurt, it isn't hurt anymore. It's like God took care of it. So that's what I would say.
I love that. That's such a good response. Similarly, I would say your kids are definitely watching how you respond. Yes. They are listening to what you say when you get in the car after co-op. They are watching your interactions. They are listening to your phone calls when you get on the phone with your husband and you recount your day, or you call your mom when you get, after the day's over. It is so easy to carry around a spirit of hurt. And I know for myself that's why this question was even hard to read, because it's a trigger for me. And I can tend to have that, just that spirit of hurt. Your kids they're going to listen to you. They're going to pick up on it. And then it's like this icky, evil cancer. And you will crawl into this shell and you'll isolate yourself. It's so gross the way that Satan works. I hate him so much. I just do, because he comes to steal and kill and destroy. And these things that were never intended, they just breed in your heart and they grow into something that they were never meant to be. Yeah. So I would just encourage you, Joy, I love that that's your name, first of all. I would encourage you to live up to your name. There's a reason that that's your name. So do not let him steal your joy, because God named you that for a reason. Okay, so that, first of all, you need to have a spirit of joy. So own that. And I love what you said about you be the person that you're hoping other people will be. If they're not rising to that standard, rise to your own standard. Absolutely. Because Satan would love nothing more than to cause division in your family, to cause division in your own heart. That's what he wants to do. And he would love to see you leave bitter and jaded and hurt, and to carry that with you to the next community. Because there's no promise that you join another community it's going to be any better.
Yeah. So take every thought captive. Make it obedient.
I would say with... I know that I've found myself in situations where it might not even be so much that like I'm in a room full of people that are like snobby and rude. It's more just like if I feel like the odd one out or the new person, I try to just look for the other odd ones out or the other new people, because it's pretty seldom that you would be like alone in that. So yeah, there have been several scenarios where I've had to, look for the person that's sitting by themselves and go sit by them and, like put myself out there. But then also I don't think this is the root of the question. So this doesn't necessarily answer this question, but if anyone is in a co-op that is not like jiving, I know that we experienced that. And it really was nothing to do with the co-op. The co-op was awesome and like full of awesome people. But it just didn't fit our style of learning, and it didn't really fit like our style of life in general. And I was really intimidated about trying another co-op because I didn't want to view myself as like I failed that thing, or people are going to think that I didn't like it there or whatever. But I'll just speak to the fact that we tried something else and it's been amazing. So I think that I don't think that leaving a co-op out of, bitterness or hurt, like you said, is the answer, because I think that those things are internal and they're going to follow you. But if there is a situation where it's just like not jiving with the way you want to do things, like don't be afraid to try another group.
That's good wisdom.
New. That's good.
Yeah, that is really good. I like that. Yeah, that's a good word. So I hope that was helpful. All right, our next question is from Jen. And Jen says, I have 3 kids, 5th grade, 1st grade, and 4 years old. My 5th grader is currently in public school. We are considering pulling him out next year. I've been homeschooling the younger 2, but I have no idea if they're on track. How do I know if they're learning on grade level and where they're supposed to be?
I feel like we talked about this a little bit with the first one. But yeah, I think just reiterating that your goal is to develop a love of learning. That's like your goal. And just observing your kids and trying to figure out what makes them tick, what gets them motivated, what gets them excited about learning, and invest in those things.
Especially at that age. 1st grade and 4 years old. A lot of learning is playing at that age. So much learning is playing, and don't like undervalue that. So I have a good friend, Lindsay. She was on the podcast last season. Go back and listen because she's amazing. But she is very like philosophical in her thinking. And I remember when I first started homeschooling, because I was coming very much from that public school saturated world, and I would say, well, how do I know? Well, how can I test them? Well, how do I know if they're performing well? How do I know if they're on grade level? And she would answer my question with a question. She was like, well, what's on grade level? Well, what's normal? Well, what is? And I was like, don't do that to me. But she's so right. And if I considered it that way, I'm like, I know. I know you're right. And so there is value to... We don't want to dismiss the process of learning, because there is good in that. Obviously, we have a responsibility to educating our children. That's why we're choosing this. But at the same time, we can't get so consumed in that we're missing the point, because there's so much more to education. It's not just a numbers game. And that's why that's why you chose to keep them home in the first place, and that's why you're considering pulling your 5th grader out, if I had my guess.
I have a example of like adults that comes to mind with this concept. So I used to work for 3 brothers that were all in finance, but all 3 amazing men, all very talented. But one of them really struggled with test taking and could not pass his CFP, and it was a struggle for him, and it would frustrate him. But 10 years down the road, his practice is like 10 times the size of his brother's practices. And I always used to laugh because I would sit in his office and behind him, he would have his college degree on the wall and it's psychology. And, you know, I would just look at that and be like, that is why you have this gigantic practice in comparison to the people who pass their tests, because this is what actually matters. You know, your the way that you speak with people and your character and charisma, you know, that was what actually mattered in that business. And so, I don't know, it just goes back to, you know, what we were saying before, that it's not always about
checking boxes or
the score. It's like, is this actually progressing you in, you know, the trajectory you want to be going in?
Yeah.
So.
That's good.
Those character attributes that are more important. We had talked about Noah earlier too, just kind of in that same framework, that he was struggling with reading, and especially in first grade, because that's where that's the grade that I was teaching. He was not at all where I thought he should be. And I had to chill out about it. And now he's third grade and it has just like hit him like a lightning bolt. And it will click. Like, I promise you, it will click. But it may take longer than you want it to. Yeah. And it's probably going to push you to that uncomfortable point, which don't we do that with the Lord? He just pushes us to that uncomfortable point until we finally get it sometimes. Yeah. Yay. Sanctifying. All right. This question's from Amanda, and it says, my kids fight nonstop. Wait, did I write this question? Oh, no, it says I thought Amanda. I wrote it. My kids fight nonstop all day long. I feel like I've tried everything. I know we're supposed to be homeschooling, but right now it's really not enjoyable. And I'm really questioning if we should continue. How do I get the fighting to stop? That's a hard one.
I'll start. I will start with repeating your words that said, I know we're supposed to be homeschooling. So there's your answer.
Yes.
And the fighting, like if you were to stop homeschooling, you would send them to school and they would fight because it's a character issue. Something that we've repeated in our home a lot, and because it was modeled for me from somebody else, was saying to my kids often, you guys are friends. You guys are friends for life. This is your best friend right here. Yep. Stuff like that in our home, because I want that for my children when they're adults. And another piece of counseling advice that was given to me along the way was, you can be right or you can have the relationship, but you can't have both. Yeah. So teaching that to your children, because obviously they probably want to be right. And so that's what's causing the fighting. Little quick go-tos, and I'm sure you've already had your go-tos where you're like, I've tried them all. But go-tos that we've used in my house, memorize scripture together. 1 Corinthians 13 is a great one. Philippians 2, 14 through 15, do everything without grumbling and complaining. Also remembering that whatever is rewarded is repeated. So trying not to give attention to it so quickly, or separating very quickly so that it doesn't escalate and get more attention. Another thing in our home, like if somebody were to say something mean about somebody, I'd say, you now owe them 5 compliments, or if they couldn't do that seriously, you owe them a service, like kind of whatever that kid's love language is. If they're a service kid, or if they're a words of affirmation kid, like you owe them that, and you have to take it seriously, or we need to talk about it further. So
don't you guys do something
similar
to that?
Yeah, we call it a yes. Yeah.
Say it again.
We call it a yes. Like, you owe so-and-so a yes. And so if they ask you to do something, or it has rules, because they'll be like, give me all your allowance. But it has to happen that day. It has to happen in the moment. And there's parameters, but it's similar. Acts of service, things like that.
I will say, I feel like, my kids are not perfect. There are arguments, but they're few and far between. My kids are older now. My youngest is 11. My oldest is 17. And I never feel like they're at home alone right now. And I'm not concerned that anybody's going to kill each other they get along. For the most part, they really do get along. So it's beautiful, and it can happen.
I would love to know how old her kids are.
Yeah, that's true. I'm guessing they're younger.
Yes.
And I'm guessing that they're close in age, which there's beauty to come if they're close in age, because as an adult, my husband's siblings are all close in age and we're all friends and our kids are friends. So speaking life over your future, what you say is your future. So speak it over your kids, speak what you want to happen. And you'll start seeing results as you pray, because all of it starts with praying about it.
Yeah. I think a lot about what Jamie talked about when she was here, and she talked so much about the roots and the fruits. And so if the fruit is ick, which is the fighting and the ugliness or the name calling or whatever it is, then it's a root problem. It's not a fruit problem. So it's a character problem. And so that's what you have to start addressing with them. So, however it is that you choose to address that. But I would say lots and lots of prayer. And one of my favorite ways to pray over my kids is while they're asleep. I love to pray over them while they're asleep because they can't talk back with me and talk back. And they look so precious and angelic. And I spend quite a bit of time praying over them, but I wouldn't undervalue the importance of that.
Right.
And this may not be in line with your spiritual beliefs, but I anoint their rooms. I would anoint their beds. If you have, prayer oil, I would anoint their rooms and say, in Jesus' name, we're going to be loving and kind and have the fruit of the Spirit in this house. That's just
their foreheads in case they
100%. Just pour it over them. We're just going to anoint the entire child oily.
You could have your kids pray over each other.
I love that.
Give them scriptures to insert their sibling's name.
Yes.
And pray truth over their sibling. Because when you're mad at somebody and you pray for them, it changes your heart about them. So,
don't underestimate the power of the Holy Spirit, even in their lives, even if they don't realize.
Yeah.
But I was going to go back to, we talked about this off camera, but the physical part of oh my gosh, I'm going to mess up my words, but you talked about sending your kids outside to run, or we do that at our house too. If it's just feeling a little bit angsty in the room, the boys do laps outside. The girls don't fight as much as the boys. I don't know, but I think the boys just have so much pent up energy, sometimes, or sometimes I'll realize too, we haven't left the house in 3 days. We need to go to an outing, go do something, be around other people. So we'll go visit a friend or go to the shops, as Woods calls them. go to Aldi or something just to get some fresh scenery. But I think just on a practical level, if everybody's really grumpy, doing some jumping jacks or a family workout or dance, put some music on and dance. It's really hard to be mad when you're dancing. Or even sometimes West, I do this to West all the time because he's my moody child, but I'll say West, you have to smile right now, and I will make him sit there until he smiles. And and this is science, if you smile, even if you don't mean it, it releases endorphins in your brain, and it's very hard to be grumpy when you're smiling.
I tell that all the time. I'm just fake it. A fake smile does wonders.
It really does. And so just some practical thing, not that praying is not practical. I think that it's invaluable to pray over your kids and have them pray too, but just sometimes moving your body.
I love that.
Yeah.
Getting a snack. Is somebody hangry? Just here's a snack,
Especially when they're close in age. If they are, I have tried to set up separate play dates for the boys too, because that can happen a lot. With the age overlap, it's we're going to have a play date, and then just the assumption that they're both going to be going, or they're both going to get dropped off together. So maybe just trying to get some separate time for them away from each other. That's okay. They don't have to do everything together.
Right.
Okay, this was good stuff. Really good. So thank you again for sending in questions. And we have so many questions that we're going to have a part 3. Lucky you. So until next time, happy learning.